Jordana, it's absolutely lovely to meet you.
So nice to meet you too.
Of course, you're used to this beautiful weather. You lived in Brazil for a long time, you lived in Rio for a long time.
Yes, I did.
So it must have been fun to come back.
It was amazing to come
wreck
back.
the place.
Just mess up a bunch of cars in Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, it was lots of fun. And now it's so much fun to see the posters all over the place, and my family's going to come to the premiere, so it's unbelievable. It's a dream come true. Yes, it is.
You're 5 movies in as well. And did you ever expect a phone call to come back for the 4th one?
You know what? I was only in the first one, the 4th one, and the 5th one.
Yeah.
So when they didn't put me in the 2nd one, I was like, they better put me in one later on. So I was expecting that call. Damn it. So I was really happy to get the call for the 4th one.
But of course, you've worked with Justin Lin before. You worked with Justin Lin on his 2nd movie, Annapolis?
I worked with Justin on Annapolis, and then he got the call for Tokyo Drift when we were doing reshoots for Annapolis. So I was like, it's amazing that you're going to work on this franchise. You will love it. And I loved how he reinvented it with Tokyo Drift. So I was, and Justin's such a loyal guy. Like, he always works with the same actors and same hair and makeup people. So he's just that kind of guy. So he's really cool.
But the scale here is massive. The scale has been massively up since the last movie. That's what happens when a movie's a big, huge hit.
Yeah.
There's more money in this one. Was that a noticeable difference for you on set?
Yes.
Just more craziness, added craziness?
Not on set. I think you lose perspective when you're on set. You don't realize it because it's like you can't tell the forest from the trees. But when I saw the movie, by the time it got to like the 3rd action sequence, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? Like, we're really, they're heading towards the water, and they're gonna, Paul's now like basically diving and surfing off the, wow. So, and yet there's that sense of the heightened reality, and yet I think Justin adds this gritty sort of, he brings his independent film background to it, which I think is really cool. Like, he had handheld cameras on set. He used these little mini cameras in the favelas, and I think you can feel that in the foot chase scenes. And I really love the movie. I think this one's the best out of the franchise.
So you went back to the first one as well. You looked at the first one for the first time in a long time before.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that with the 4th one? You just felt like you'd do that without 4 movies in, 5 movies in?
I didn't feel like there wasn't as much story, as much to do, so I didn't feel like it needed it. But I watched the 1st one and the 4th one again for this one, for like character study stuff. And every time it's on television, my husband stops and watches it, and I'm like, I cannot see us because we look like babies. It's just so funny to go back and see it.
But you're right in the middle of the action here as well. You get to drive the cars as always. There's not many roles like that for women in Hollywood, so that must be an extra bonus that you got to meet with the character, where you get to do the action as well. You get to mix it up with the guys. Yeah,
I love watching it, like people like Angelina Jolie in movies like Salt, and because she's a fantastic actress, but she also kicks a lot of ass.
Is she the bar for you, kind of in terms of action?
I mean, I could never reach it, but she definitely is. I definitely aspire and admire her. Aspire to be. She definitely, she's amazing. So so when I kicked a little bit of ass in this, I was very, very happy.
And how funny is it to see the relationship between Vin and Paul Walker and stuff like that evolve over these movies and have guys come back? And is it crazy, like the family coming back together again?
It is, and it's funny how we keep it fresh, you know, like bringing back people like Matt Schultz and bringing back Ludacris and Tyrese, and adding that comic relief, which I think is so important, because when scenes are so intense, I think the audience needs to like take a breather and laugh. You know, which I needed when I was watching the movie.
But the whole 3 action sequences in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jordana, it was lovely to meet you.
So nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Paul, it's an absolute pleasure to speak to you.
Yeah, good man. Good to see you.
Just saying, this beats a hotel room.
Oh, beats the hell out of a hotel room. Jesus Christ.
Well, you're here for a cracking film, the 5th one, and it's probably the best in the franchise. And that, I was just saying to Vin earlier on, that very rarely happens. 5 films in, 2 films in to a franchise. What do you think it is about this one that just clicks?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so you know, I'm going off of what people are saying, and like I'm one of those guys. Yeah. I'm so cynical at this point, you know, because like, all I hear is yeses and how great everything is all the time. And I'm like, really? But you know, you start hearing it enough, and you go, hey, maybe that's the case, you know. And when you get into it, obviously, you don't want to go out and make something that's subpar. You know, the ambition is to make something that's better. But there's a fine line, because if you obsess on making something that's better, you're frozen and you don't get anywhere. So, you know, we went into this one with the mentality that, you know, let's have a really good time. Everyone's really back. And in my mind, this is like making it to the championship game, right? I mean, like you said, to even have the opportunity to make a 5th one in itself is just completely crazy. So, you know, let's go on ahead, let's do the best work that we can. But at the end of the day, if it ends up being complete dog, you know, at least we could say we had a good time making it. So, there you go.
But I mean, like obviously toy films in, and it's a very physical role, but that's obviously something you really enjoy. You enjoy the physical part of it.
Yeah.
A lot of free running on, jumping through roofs and stuff like that.
For sure.
Anytime I've read an interview with you beforehand, there's a big smile comes on Paul's face as soon as the free running's mentioned. So you try and do as many stunts as you can, and you try to embrace that as much as you can.
And they try to neuter you as much as they can. They take
insurance guys sitting there.
Yeah, they take it away. But you know, along the way, when you work with people for as long as I've worked with these guys, you earn a certain level of respect. You know, we've been working with the same stunt coordinators and, you know, and just everyone from all across the board, right? And so along the way, they look at it and they're like going, well, and not to like pat myself on the back too much, but there are, quite frankly, a lot of things that I can do better than some of the stuntmen. A lot of the stuntmen, you know, there are certain guys we bring in that are specialists that say are really good at this or good at that, but my lifestyle, the way that I was raised and playing all the sports and doing everything that I did, like I like to consider myself a pretty physical and athletic guy.
Bit of an athlete.
Yeah, I love, and the physical challenge, that aspect of it is the most fun aspect. That to me is the best part.
The scale is up here massively because the last film was such a big success. Universal backed this one in a really big way. Is there a noticeable difference on set? There's like 6 action sequences or something like that in this one.
Yeah, no, this one's really, really big. And, you know, I have a stunt double. We grew up together. His name's Oakley Lehman. Our mothers went to high school together, so I've known this guy forever. And he's a complete stud when it comes to anything motorized. And there's certain things that he does, and there's times where I look at it and I go, son of a, like, I want to do that, you know? But there was that one sequence though with the train.
Yeah, at the start.
Yeah, right. They're shooting that out in the middle of the open desert, and it's 120 degrees plus. And he's on the platform of that truck. You know, he's holding onto the rope.
You have to jump over.
He had to do the wide sequence of it. And on contact, they're taking a gun, right, that gives a gauge of the heat, and it's so high up there that on immediate contact, it's immediately blistering his skin. And that's one of those moments where I was like, he's a lot better than me at everything.
He's a much better stunt guy than I am.
He is. But when it comes to jumps, when it comes to motorcycles, when it comes to anything really radical, there's no one better than Oakley. He's the man.
But I mean, the heart of the movie, of course, it's not just action. The relationship between yourself and Finn, it's gone through so many different stages, and now it's kind of like brotherhood.
Oh yeah.
You know, and is that paralleled off camera as well? Are you guys 10 years now? I mean,
you know, I definitely consider us to be pretty good friends at this point. I mean, more than pretty good friends, good friends. Yeah. But you know, our lifestyles and our approach to life is so different. My play arena is completely different than his. He's from the East Coast. He's East Coast at heart. I was born and raised on the West Coast. I spend most of my time out there.
Beaches like this.
Yeah, you know, I'm a backpacker, trekker, hunter, fisherman. Like I do all that stuff. And he's more of a city guy. So I think that those two elements, I think our personality and just how we are so different, I think that's what people have found complementary. Yeah. It's just our own kind of personal being, and we bring it together, and as opposed to it being a clash, for some reason it kind of morphs and becomes something, and people have clicked with it.
You can't teach that dynamic. Well,
no.
It was a pleasure to speak to you, Paul, and we'll see you in Dublin soon.
I hope so.
Maybe for
that'd be cool.
Fast 6.
Yeah, I'd like that very much.
Pleasure to meet you.